In the last election of 2022, the mountain gave William Ruto about 48% of the total votes he got. And if you look at William Ruto's votes, it was purely a two-tribe kind of an affair. The mountain tribe and the Kalenjin tribe. Those were the major voting blocks for Ruto in 2022. And if you look at that pattern of voting, it cannot produce a national leader, in that a leader is only being elected by only two communities dominantly. That leader cannot be a national leader. And it's actually true if you look at about 2 years of William Ruto's presidency. Ruto has not lived up to the expectations of his office as a symbol of national unity. He has really been trying to reward these two areas that voted for him, excluding other Kenyan communities. And if you look at the map of Kenya, you can see that a whopping majority, most regions rejected Ruto. As I talk, there is a strong wind of rebellion blowing against William Ruto on the mountain. And if nothing miraculous happens, Ruto will lose the mountain vote. He will become the most hated politician in that part of the country. And as he becomes hated on the mountain, these other Kenyan communities, in my honest opinion, cannot come in the defense of Ruto, because Ruto again has failed to deliver. If you compare Ruto's presidency to the other former presidents or presidencies, Ruto's presidency is the worst. And if you look at the Kenyan society, it's divided into two. We have those who don't care about whether a leader delivers or not, and those are the ones who've been supporting Ruto. This other side of the divide, they really care about a leader's performance. And when I say that, I'm not taking sides. That's the truth. So this other side that cares about performance of a leader, they can now not stoop low to embrace Ruto after the mountain has abandoned him. So I'm seeing William Ruto has so many problems that he has to encounter. And as that is happening, in our earlier analysis a few hours today, we also found out that Rigathi Gachagua is now shopping for a new political party called the New Democrats, TND. So even Rigathi is planning to quit Kenya Kwanza government. And I've also been maintaining here that any leader with some political ambitions associating with William Ruto at this moment is like committing a political suicide. Ruto has failed, and any association with him, you can easily be branded as part of the team oppressing Kenyans. So a smart politician or leader has to be very careful as he or she associates with the Ruto. The ground is going to be hostile to appoint no leader who will want to associate with Ruto. Let's listen to some remarks made by Pastor Nganga before we continue.
I thank God for Uhuru. Hata kama ulisema ni mlevi, heri Uhuru mara 100. Nasema heri Uhuru mara 100. Take me where you want to take me.
Nganga is comparing Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. And he's saying heri Uhuru mara 100. And not only Pastor Nganga is saying that, most individuals, especially from the mountain and even across the country, who voted for William Ruto are now up in arms against him. Ruto made so many promises to Kenyans, promises he is yet to fulfill. So naturally, those who voted for him are really feeling a lot of pain. Those who never voted for him were not very much optimistic of his presidency. So what Ruto is now doing as the president, Kenyans who never voted for him were expecting that. This is the first time in our history where an incumbent president is clearly and openly serving the interest of foreign powers at the expense of the people he should be serving. Look at all these policies Ruto's government has been pushing, be it the finance bills, these taxation regimes. All these are foreign policies being pushed by the World Bank, IMF, and the world superpowers, the likes of America. A Kenyan is now left frustrated, wondering, do we have our own president, or do we have a president imposed on us by the foreign powers? So it's clear Ruto is losing support among those who voted for him and those who never voted for him. And sometimes things do happen in some patterns. Ruto will go down in history as the first presidential candidate to win competitively on his first attempt. I'm equally seeing a William Ruto who will also make history as the first Kenyan president to lose a presidential election, to go for only one term. The whole country is rebelling against Ruto, and even if he was to rig, as some Kenyans are saying, rigging has got a limit. Rigging has got a limit. With this kind of a rebellion on the mountain, William Ruto is doomed to fail. Nothing will save him. And even if he manages to convince Rigathi to stay, I think the mountain, if that's the case, will still rebel against Ruto and against Rigathi Gachagua. Kenyans are suffering. But now they are doing part on the side of the opposition. They are not taking good use of that opportunity that Ruto has availed to them. By now, we expected, as the new leaders on the mountain, to be actively campaigning against Ruto. But I'm seeing they're just silent. And Uhuru Kenyatta is equally silent, not taking advantage of the situation. That's the only undoing, in my honest opinion, as the meal on the mountain are making. They ought to be capitalizing on the failures and the rebellion against Ruto to actually gain the ground they lost in 2022. So Ruto is losing it, ladies and gentlemen. And now to those remarks by Pastor Nganga, I'm taking those remarks to mean the church, the so-called men and women of God who supported Ruto in 2022, they are now abandoning him. And more will soon join. Already we have started seeing some church leaders on the mountain rebuking Ruto. He has to think outside the box to at least convince these rebellious supporters that he can still deliver for them. Let me stop it there. In case you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Those watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.
I thank God for Uhuru. Hata kama ulisema ni mlevi, heri Uhuru mara 100. Nasema heri Uhuru mara 100. Take me where you want to take me.